Ladies and gentlemen, today I have a treat for you. You know, I love reviewing retro consoles. It's one of my favorite things to do. Every time I do it, they get, a tiny bit better or a little bit cooler. But today we've hit the peak. This is called the MagicX Zero 40. And essentially what it is a DS emulator. Yeah, just a heads up, this is the best emulator console I've ever used. So we're gonna go check this console out and check out the emulation. Then I'll come back over here and give you my final thoughts, some extra details. We'll just see how we feel about everything. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, today we're gonna review the MagicX Zero 40. What the hell is going on with these names? The names get crazier, but also the consoles get crazier. At first glance, you're thinking, what the hell is this? And that's kind of what's so appealing about it. Every other one of these consoles either emulates like the Switch shape, or maybe a Game Boy Advance, or the original Game Boy. This is something completely different. This console, for the most part, serves one purpose. Instead of having every game on it, Game Boy Advance and Sega and Dreamcast and N64, and not saying this can't have it, because there are versions that do have it, but the purpose of this console is to emulate Nintendo DS. This stylus did not come with it, but I had this laying around the house, so we're going to use this as well. So as you can see, kind of simple at first, right? It comes with over 1,400 DS games. I don't know how many games are in the DS library, but this comes with pretty much everything you could ever want to play. Your Sonic, your Mario, your Pokemon, your Zelda. It also comes stocked full of some arcade games as well. So, I'm not the biggest arcade fan, but there are a couple games that are fun to play here and there. So, you might mess around with that. This console is actually touchscreen, which, if you're going to have a DS, of course it has to be touchscreen. And that's a problem. A lot of these other retro emulator consoles, they do have DS games on them, but they are not touchscreen. So it kind of defeats the whole purpose. Another thing that is very cool is this has an Android operating system. So if you've ever used any Android at all, you're going to be very familiar with this. I've been messing around on Firefox, like watching YouTube. I gotta say, not a bad way to watch YouTube videos. Yeah, look, that's my video from today right there. And what's cool is you can rotate the screen, and then, what do? Press full screen right there. And then look, we are watching YouTube on this console, man. I know you're buying this to play games, but the fact that it is multi-purpose like that, it is such a huge win in my book. Quickly, before we test out some emulation, I just want to compare sizes real quick. This is it compared to my Nintendo Switch Lite. So you can see it is a very small console, and at first it was a little off-putting just because I've been playing my Switch 2 so much, but I'm not even kidding. Playing for like 20 minutes, I am locked into this. And let's compare it to my Nintendo Switch 2 just for the comedy sake of it. Yeah, man, this thing is way smaller. But another reason I want to compare it to my Switch 2 quickly, this has Hall Effect joystick. So not Hall Effect joysticks because we only have one, but I promise this feels exactly the same quality as my Nintendo Switch 2. It is such a huge advantage. And another thing about this, that's a huge selling point, right? So Super Mario 64 is an amazing port. It was the first time we had a 3D Mario game portably, right? It's amazing. But on the DS, all you had was the D-pad. After a while, you can get used to it, but I always thought, I just don't want to use it. Having this thumbstick, this is a game changer for DS games. It is like so perfect, man. It's truly the peak way to play DS now. And I could be wrong. I don't know if my phone is going to pick it up. I don't think the graphics look this good on the original DS. They seem to be kind of smoothed out, so I'm sure maybe something in the emulation is doing that, but I played DS last year, a few games on it, and I remember thinking, damn, these games don't look as good as I remember. This looks better than I remember, right? But let's play something a little bit faster. I have got to show you one of the most amazing ports that I did not know exist. You guys have seen me review these consoles a million times, and I always talk about how the Tony Hawk Game Boy Advance ports are some of the greatest ports in gaming. I didn't know American Wasteland, which is called Skateland, was on the DS. I didn't know this. This is one of the best ports I have ever played. Do you see how quick that loaded? And the crazy thing is, this actually has the real soundtrack. Like, I was just listening to Green Day on here, but obviously for copyright stuff, I had to turn it down. Look how good this looks, man. Look how good it plays. It's straight up a Tony Hawk game, portably. All the challenges, all the gaps, all the moves. It's Tony Hawk American Wasteland. This is crazy to me. Yes, the graphics are, I guess, not as good, but I actually like this. This almost reminds me of like a Simpsons game. Like, it almost looks cel shaded a little bit. This is one of the best ports I have ever played that I did not know exist. 100%, it is a straight up Tony Hawk game. Like, they barely cut any corners at all, and I think that's incredible. So yeah, as you can see, this is a faster game that has a lot of stuff happening on the screen, and you're doing all these tricks and you're zooming around. If you're playing a game that's a lot slower than this, like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh or a puzzle game or something where nothing's really happening too much on the screen, of course it's going to play perfectly fine. But this is such a treat for me. So what's cool is this also comes with Balatro installed on it, and then you can see it has like the GBA, it has RetroArch, it has N64 emulation. I don't know what that would be, but that's on here as well. And when I first turned this on, it was showing like the frame rates on top of the screen and stuff like that. So this is very quality, man. I was not kidding. This is the best emulator console I have used so far, and I can't wait to continue to use these. Every time I get a console, I say, that's cool. I can't wait for the next one. That's cool. I can't wait for the next one. I don't know what's better than this. I'm sure there are things, but I've been wanting to play a bunch of DS games. I could see myself playing this daily for like the next 2 years straight until I play all the DS games that I want to play. So let me give you some extra details. Right now, this console is only available in 2 colors. It's available in white, which is the one that I have, and it's also available in black, which I think looks pretty cool. So the company that sends me these consoles, we email all the time back and forth, and I think I understood them correctly. The console that I have is the 64GB model, and this comes loaded with like 1400 DS games and arcade games, but they also offer a 128GB model, and then that one comes with every other retro console that you would want, like N64 and Game Boy Advance and Sega and all that good stuff, right? But me, I was just looking for the DS, so what I have is perfectly fine for me. The operating system is a 64-bit Android system, which is very user-friendly. I have an iPhone. I have not used an Android in like a decade, but I was able to navigate it really easily, so I'm sure you'll be able to as well. The display is only 4 inches, and I gotta say that was the first thing that like took me back a little bit. I was like, I'm so used to my Nintendo Switch 2 screen and even a regular Switch, and you know, you're getting like half a screen and half a screen because of the DS. So it is a little off-putting, and then I was wondering like, well, why didn't they make the screen bigger? But then the games would have been stretched out. So once I just gave myself the facts, I'm like, well, this is a DS, and well, it's supposed to be this way. All those thoughts immediately went out, and I kind of enjoy the smaller screen, man. I don't have to be blinded by a screen this big with the brightness turned all the way up. Just me holding it right here, it is perfect. And that's me like laying on the couch, laying on the bed. Perfect size, and I'm not saying it couldn't be cooler if it was bigger, but I just think it's great for what it is. This console also supports Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, and the first thing I did was connect it to Wi-Fi and then did like an update, and then it started moving way faster. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Now what's great about this is the battery lasts between 7 and 9 hours. Coming from my Nintendo Switch 2, playing Cyberpunk non-stop, that's like a 2.5 hour battery life, dude. 7 to 9 hours? What are we? Royalty? What are we? Living the good life over here? Now I'm not going to drag this video out because I don't really need to. What you see is what you get. And it's very rare to where like your expectations and what you want and what they give you and what it could do all lines up. This is a rare instance of that happening. It's essentially a Nintendo DS emulator that actually has touchscreen, that has an Android operating system, that has a bunch of other cool stuff that you can mess around with, which, you know, I don't really do that too much. I just like to keep everything simple. So what is the price of this? Because some of these things can get pretty expensive. I am very happy to tell you guys this console is only $105. That is such a fair price, man. Especially for what you're getting. You're getting 1,400 DS games pre-installed, some arcade games, just an amazing console But you guys know I can always save you money, and I like to do that. So at checkout, use my promo code ROBOT and you will save 10%, but maybe more. Sometimes it's like 12%. Sometimes they have other specials going on, but you're gonna save 10%, right? And that's amazing. I'm not even kidding. I would put it on the screen, but I don't want to like expose some of you guys, which I'm sure you guys would be cool with, but I had no less than 7 of you guys message me on Instagram saying, where can I buy it? When can I buy it? How do I buy it? But I was like, just chill. Let me get this video out so I can save you guys some money. This is a small rant, but we are in this strange time in gaming where it's like, we're getting game key cards for the Nintendo Switch 2. Games are getting super expensive. Game companies don't want you to own their games. Physical games are getting harder to find, especially for retail price. So I just want to stack up a bunch of games for as little as possible. This is allowing me a huge freedom to where I can play some of the greatest games of all time and then have some other cool features for a very affordable price. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys. As always, if you made it to this part of the video, if you could do me a favor and hit a like and subscribe, or follow me on Twitter and Instagram, that would really benefit this community, and I'd really appreciate it. And you guys know me, I'll see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.